have some indication as to Le'Veon Bell's future. We have a huge matchup between the Browns and Steelers, and we have the future of Anthony Davis's career mapped out. But we start with LeBron James as the world debates who is the GOAT, MJ or LeBron. LeBron took to his Instagram stories and posted this, the fact that he is watching The Last Dance. Jalen, what message is he trying to send by posting The Last Dance while we all debate who the GOAT is?
See, unfortunately for me, I was actually on that Indiana team in 1998 that Michael Jordan advanced by. I actually made a jump shot in that documentary. I actually did an interview in that documentary. You know what else I did? I did a GOAT comparisons list on this program yesterday. LeBron is a student of the game, Jacoby. And when he told Rachel Nichols to let us do the debate, he knew once he got his fourth championship and his fourth finals MVP that he had a little more work to do. And that's why he's studying the GOAT, Michael, Jeffrey, Air Jordan. Because LeBron knows with the younger AD, they have a chance to get a couple of more. That now closes the gap between him and MJ.
It absolutely does. And LeBron has showed his hand twice. Once off wax when he was teaching children, he said that he's chasing the ghost in Chicago. So he's acknowledging the fact that he is trying to catch up with MJ. And then after he won the championship with Cleveland over the 73-win Warriors, he said on the shop, on wax, on camera, he said that championship made him the greatest of all time. So he can act like he doesn't care about these debates. It's for us to decide, but he knows that he is very much a part of this, and that it is now neck and neck of who the greatest of all time is. But to take to Instagram stories and to show that you're watching The Last Dance, The Last Dance didn't come out in the bubble. The Last Dance has been out before the bubble. To do that sends a message and further stokes the flame. He's not interested in this conversation, but he is fueling this fire. Why do you think he is making us talk about this?
And it's your opinion that he's second in the GOAT race. I still have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Russell ahead of LeBron James. Winning this championship, I had him eclipsing Magic Johnson. He's a student of the game, Jacoby. He's immersed in understanding the legacy of all of these all-time great players. And he knows to get into that pantheon, he has a few more things to accomplish. So I appreciated him being a student of the game, getting back in the lab.
Absolutely. And anyone that has seen The Last Dance knows it's a great way to kill time. Look at Michael Jordan here. Like, you talked about his grace yesterday. Jalen, what was it like to face off against the GOAT?
See, the one thing about MJ, and I got to make sure, The Last Dance showed his tenacity and his killer instinct and his ability to be clutch when other people shrink under pressure. But you're watching the most elegant and graceful basketball player to ever do it. That's why we're still wearing his shoes 20, 25 years later. That's why his bald head, his trademark tongue wag is iconic. When the last time you seen somebody play with their tongue out, Jacoby? When was the last time you seen that happen?
Never. I've never seen that.
I was standing in front of this dude, and I was like, you know what? I might swat at his tongue. I thought about it for a second. I was like, is that nasty? Is that defense? Or is that just weird? And then I realized he flick out his tongue and he put it back in so fast, it's quicker than his first step. And that dude, dog, every area of the floor, from three, the post, with his back to the basket, steal the ball from you, offside D. Look at his final play as a member of the Chicago Bulls. Stole the ball from Karl Malone, goes coast to coast, isolates, crosses over Byron Russell, makes the game-winning walk-off shot. That's what LeBron is watching, because that's what I wanted to see in Game 5. So the King getting ready for next year, that's why he's watching.
That's why he is watching. And Jalen, one of my favorite things about you is you actually checked into a basketball game thinking to yourself that you were going to stop Michael Jordan from scoring. God bless your confidence, Jalen Rose. Moving on to the NFL, we have no Thursday Night Football, but we have a huge game this weekend between the Steelers and the Browns. And Kareem Hunt in front of this matchup between the Steelers and the Browns. And Kareem Hunt in front of this matchup said that this one is for Miles. This one is for Cleveland Browns fans. Jalen, the Browns have a pivotal game against the Steelers. This is if we find out if they are for real. What do you expect to see on Sunday?
Every time the Steelers come up, remind me to ask the question, when is Mike Tomlin going to get one of those contracts that the head coach in Carolina got? That's first and foremost. Second, as I look deeper into the Browns team and the construction of it, Jacoby, the strength of their roster in a lot of ways is their offensive and defensive lines. It's not beautiful to watch, but they pushing people off the football. And when Chubb was playing along with Hunt, they was running all over whoever was in front of them. And then all of a sudden you get reverses for Odell Beckham and you unlock all of the weapons that you have. And so don't be surprised, Jacoby, if they're hovering 10-win team. And I know so many people that love the Browns, including B-Lo that's going to be watching this show that work for our network that's going to be surprised that I'm saying a team with Baker Mayfield under center is going to win 10 games possibly this year. But looking at their schedule, I've figured something out about this squad and watching them play, in particular since Odell and Mayfield got there. They're a squad that does a great job of front running. And so, because they're a lot more talented than the people that they face. And if you look at that schedule, I see the Jaguars, I see the Giants, I see the Jets, those chances to get dubs. And so don't be surprised if Cleveland outplays expectations this season like people anticipated they should have when they first put this group together.
Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham and the stars they have on offense get so much attention, but I want to give some flowers to that man, Myles Garrett, who Kareem Hunt is talking about. He is number 2 in double teams, number 2 in sacks in the league, and number 1 with 23 pressures this season so far. Myles Garrett is in the kitchen of every quarterback that he plays. He is truly living up to those expectations that he had coming out of the draft. If you're watching the Browns and you're not paying attention to Myles Garrett, then you are missing out. Only J.J. Watt gets double teamed as a defensive end more than him. Jalen, we have a guest on the program today. We're going to be joined by a man who can see the future, a true real-life oracle. Rose Stradamus joins the program. I want to thank Rose Stradamus for coming through, because what Rose Stradamus has the ability to do is to see things before they happen. He can forecast the future, and Rose Stradamus has his seeing powers on a gentleman by the name of Anthony Davis. Rose Stradamus, what do you see in the future for Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis, a champion, a terrific athletic performer, a guy that's going to hover around 30 points and 12 rebounds, a couple of blocks, a couple of steals. Gets a chance not only to defend his back-to-back championship, but gets a chance to play as long as LeBron is playing at an MVP level. So he's going to sign short deals, Jacoby, just like LeBron was doing earlier in his career. And he has Rich Paul, the perfect person to navigate this. Sign a 2-and-1, sign a 1-and-1. And then when it's time for LeBron James to ride off into the sunset, and/or when Bronny gets to the league, Anthony Davis going to go home. And he's going to try to deliver a championship to his hometown like LeBron wanted to do in Cleveland.
Interesting. So you have Anthony Davis joining the Chicago Bulls later in his career. Is that correct, Rose Stradamus?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, sir. That's what I'm saying. As somebody that's been on Michigan Avenue and eaten a lot of Garrett's popcorn and gone to Gibson's where the gentleman remembers my order and there's 25 of us at a table and doing so many amazing things on Rush Street, yes, Anthony Davis would love to go home and try to deliver a championship to a Chicago Bulls.
Rose Stradamus, normally I like to disagree with you, but I love what you're doing here because there's a symmetry between LeBron's career and Anthony Davis's career. Anthony Davis starts with the Pelicans, goes 7 years with the Pelicans, says this isn't going to work. I'm going to go to a place where I can win a championship. Doesn't that sound familiar? That's right. LeBron James started in Cleveland, went 7 years, decided he needed to go somewhere to win a championship, goes to Miami, wins a championship or 2, like Anthony Davis may, and then decides, you know what? I'm going to go to my hometown and try to bring a championship there. So he goes back to Cleveland. That's exactly what Rose Stradamus is predicting Anthony Davis to do. And I feel like if I'm Rich Paul and that is the plan, you can just say, look at LeBron's career. Would you like this? And Anthony Davis, if I'm him, I say, yes, Mr. Paul, I absolutely would. Rose Stradamus, I love your prediction. You're making a lot of people in Chicago happy because I would love to see Anthony Davis team up with my guy, Kobe White, in the red and black with the Bulls. Now, Jalen, From the Bulls, we have to go to another marquee franchise, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Ian Begley of SNY is saying that the New York Knickerbockers could be interested in trading for Russell Westbrook if he becomes available from the Rockets. I think this is an absolutely, positively terrible trash idea. What do you think of the idea of the Knicks trading for Russell Westbrook?
Whoa. You think what is a trash idea?
Trading for Russell Westbrook as the Knicks. The Knicks do not need to trade future assets for a superstar. The Knicks need to rebuild like every other franchise in the NBA needs to. What they don't need to do is leverage their future to become a 7th seed in the East and lose in the first round with Russell Westbrook. They do not need to do that. People will be going to MSG regardless. Please take advice of every single team in the NBA. Do not trade for a superstar if you are the Knicks. Build and draft and develop players. Do not trade for a superstar. Please, Knicks. Please. Mr. Rose, your thoughts.
Family, let me teach you something. All trades and players in certain scenarios aren't created equal. And if you're a team like the New York Knicks, I want to ask you a straight out question. I like the young core that they have as it relates to being guys that have a chance to play a long time in this league. And depending on how RJ Barrett develops, he has all-star potential. Still need Knox to develop. You need Mitchell Robinson to continue to grow. He can be a live guy that blocks shots. I know what you're talking about. However, Jacoby, you don't have a marquee name. And when you're playing on Broadway, that's what you need. That's what Russell Westbrook is going to give you. If I walked into a room right now and looked at all 15 of those players, I would say, I'd rather have Russell Westbrook than all of these guys.
Of course.
That's your starting over point. That's your opportunity to. And people are going to pay to come and watch him perform. I don't use this term a lot, Jacoby. In today's game, Russell Westbrook is a superstar. Let me say that again for you. He's a superstar. And he's going to be the kind of person that galvanizes the audience at MSG if he was playing for the team. And I know people remembering him playing in the playoffs last year, playing some 4, playing some 5, playing hurt, playing with Harden, playing off Harden. But when you put the ball in his hands in the Eastern Conference, he averaged a triple-double in the West with 20s and 15s and 15s. You put Russ in the East? Dog, if you don't want it, don't waste your time. I looked it up and down, said, I'll take her.
Jalen, we have some information. We have some information about who could be the coach of the Rockets.